Hello, everyone. Laura Musica here, President and CEO of Sidewalk Advocates for Life. I just got back last night from the 50th Annual National March for Life and accompanying events. I ask for your grace because I lost part of my voice, probably in part due to all the talking that we had to do and also some exhaustion. But I'm so grateful. It was a really great 4 days for our organization, for our ministry, and for the movement going forward. But I wanted to come to you today with a message and with a word of encouragement. You know, I think it's so important that we all pause. And for me, it was literally like, hey, I just went to church. I'm getting ready to run an errand. And I wanted to come and join with you in that pause, have a moment to remember the more than 64 million children who lost their lives under the banner of so-called safe and legal choice during Roe's 49-year reign. And of course, we remember that behind every life that was lost is a mother, a father, and a family who is affected. And if that's you, I want you to know that we love you and that there's hope and healing available to you. You know, feel free to message me if I can link you up with some healing resources, or you can visit our friends at supportafterabortion.com. We love you and we're there for you. But it is important that we pause, that we remember those lives, that we remember those families who were affected. But it's also important that we pause to rejoice, because Roe's 49-year reign has ended thanks to the Dobbs v. Jackson case that was handed down on June 24th of last year. 6 months ago, this spiritual stronghold that seized our country has broken. And now the people of every state have the ability to choose life. You know, so far, we're at about 14 states that have run to defend innocent human life, and we've got about 36 to go. And we're here for it, aren't we? You know, truly, as people like you have stood up and shown up, advocated and educated, as we did that the last handful of decades, we saw culture change, and we saw the makeup of the Supreme Court change. We know that the courts are often a microcosm of the culture, and as we did our part to reach hearts and minds, we made a decision by God's grace like this possible. And that is still true today for our mission going forward, that as we take our inherently logical case about human life to each and every mind, heart, and soul in every state, we have hoped to see states even like Illinois and New Mexico and California flip someday and defend life, just like my home state, the great state of Texas. So I want to encourage you today. That we have seen in the midst of this darkness a great light, and that we have an important mission collectively together, but you have an important mission that God has given you in the greatest human rights movement on earth. And I don't know if it is giving of your precious treasure or getting out to the sidewalk, praying for an end to abortion, maybe all of those. Maybe it's volunteering in your local pregnancy resource center, or getting trained in some way so that you know how to answer these questions and be there for your friend and neighbor who may be experiencing an unexpected pregnancy. This mission is so important. It's so intrinsic to who we are as human beings, that it's almost like we almost need to ask God what not to do as opposed to what to do, right? But at the very least, I want to encourage you to go to our Lord and ask him what he wants you to do on this anniversary of Roe versus Wade, to continue to help America to see change. And I just want to end with this. As I was heading to church this morning and thinking about this day, I wondered what the readings were going to be like. In my church, we have a reading from the Old Testament, the New, we have a psalm, and then the Liturgy of the Word ends with a reading from the Gospel. And I thought it was so beautiful. I thought it was so providential that we started out with a reading from Isaiah, that the people who were in darkness have seen a great light. And then the psalm was from Psalm 27, the Lord is my light and my salvation, whom shall I fear? And then the gospel finished off the Liturgy of the Word with the story of how the Lord went to call the apostles, that they were fishing, right? These ordinary people that were called to this great mission of evangelizing, of helping to bring that light into the darkness. He said to them, from now on, I will make you fishers of men. And I thought, this is the perfect blueprint for what God is calling us to going forward. That those of us that at some point, whether we were born into it, whether we were there before it, and now we've seen the sea change, those of us who have been part of Roe's 49-year reign, we in darkness have seen a great light. This issue is no longer stuck in a constitutional deep freeze. The people can get at it. We can help our states turn pro-life. And then as we take our next steps, I'm reminded of Psalm 27. The Lord is our light and our salvation. Whom shall we fear? That he will light our way as we look to see every state gradually become pro-life. And then the very end of the liturgy of the word, the gospel reading about how Jesus went and called us ordinary people to this great mission, to go out 2 by 2 and beyond and more at times. And that he would make us fishers of men, that we, by his grace, would be able to win people over to this understanding, to this knowing, to the beauty of every human life. So I just wanted to come to you all today to have a moment with you, to remember these lives that have been lost, but also for us together to be encouraged about what God is doing. Love is ending abortion. Isn't it funny? Like, I literally went to go run errands today, and it was the t-shirt that was sitting on top of the stack, and I was grabbing it so that I could put on something comfortable as I ran out the door. But just like you, in the middle of my day, I wanted to pause to remember. And I want to thank all of you who continue to support us at Sidewalk Advocates for Life as we look to cover every uncovered abortion and abortion referral facility in the country. We're doing that for the sake of lives and souls, for his glory. And for all of you, for whatever it is that you feel called to do, know that I'm cheering you on as well. We love you. Thank you. Keep going. Onward.